I looked at Emily from across the table, her smile bright, the one she always wore when we were perfect. The sunlight caught her hair just right, and for a moment, I felt that familiar rush of love that had pulled me in from the start. "You've been quiet today," she said, stirring her coffee. "I'm fine," I replied, forcing a smile. "You've been saying that a lot lately." Her tone wasn't accusing, but I felt it anyway, like a faint sting. "I guess I'm just tired." The lie slipped out easily. I hated lying to her, but some truths weren't safe yet, not until I understood them myself. Mark had called me earlier. "Man, you need to pay attention. Emily's been acting off. You know it." "I know what I'm doing, Mark. Thanks." I ended the call quickly, even though his warning lingered in my mind. I didn't want to think about cracks in what I believed was unbreakable. Emily's eyes shifted, ever so slightly, like she was hiding something. "You're staring again." "I'm not staring." My voice was defensive, but inside, my heart thudded. Why was I suddenly hyper-aware of everything she did? She smirked, brushing her fingers along the rim of her mug. "You're weird. Always so intense." "Maybe I just care." "Caring is fine until it becomes smothering." Her words floated over me, soft, but with an edge. I nodded, trying to laugh it off. "Not smothering, just attentive." She tilted her head, studying me like I was a puzzle she'd solved years ago, and then added something that lodged in my chest. "Sometimes I wonder if you're enough." The fork clattered against my plate. What does that even mean? My voice cracked despite my efforts to keep it steady. "I don't know." She took a sip of coffee, calm, unreadable. "Sometimes I just think, maybe I deserve better." The words hit harder than any punch could. "Deserve better?" I echoed, my mind spinning. Was this a joke? A test? My fiancée, the woman I was going to spend my life with, just said she might want someone else. "It's nothing really. Don't think about it." Her smile was practiced, effortless. Too effortless. I couldn't stop thinking about it, though. The rest of the day passed in a blur, my brain twisting every word, every glance, every pause into evidence of some hidden betrayal. Later, I met Mark at the bar. He poured himself a drink and watched me in silence for a moment. "She said that." I nodded. "She said she deserves better." Mark leaned back, shaking his head slowly. "I told you. I've seen her. Something's up." "She's just stressed, Mark." "I'm overthinking it." I tried to convince myself, as much as I tried to convince him. Mark sighed, rubbing his temple. "You say that, but man, I know you. You're smart. And she's not you. Don't ignore this. Don't get blindsided. I can handle it." My voice was firm, though inside I felt anything but. Driving home, the city lights blurred past. I kept thinking about Emily's words, her eyes, the subtle shift in her demeanor. I remembered the way she laughed at my jokes less lately, the small sighs she gave when I tried to be close. Everything small that I ignored before suddenly felt huge. When I opened the door, she was in the living room, scrolling through her phone. "Hey," I said, trying to keep my voice casual. "Hey," she replied without looking up. I sat beside her, pretending not to notice her distance. "Long day." "Yeah, but it's fine." I wanted to ask more, to demand honesty, but instead I said nothing. I watched her fingers move across the screen, the soft light illuminating her face, so familiar yet suddenly strange. "You've been quiet today," she said again. Her voice was softer now, almost vulnerable. "I'm fine," I said automatically. Her gaze met mine, and for a moment, something flickered. Regret? Sadness? Or just the practiced mask of someone who already has one foot out the door? "You really think you're enough for me?" she whispered, almost to herself. I swallowed, my heart tight. "I thought I was." She didn't answer. She just looked away, and I felt it, the first real crack in our perfect illusion. For the first time, I wondered if I had ever truly known her. I noticed it first on Thursday. Emily had left for work unusually early, phone in hand, smiling at something I couldn't see. "You're leaving early?" I asked, trying to sound casual. Yeah, just some extra paperwork. Don't worry about it. Her tone was light, but something in the way she avoided my eyes made me uneasy. Extra paperwork at this hour? She shrugged. It's nothing. You'll see. I watched her go, heart sinking. Something was off. I shook my head. Overthinking, I told myself. But then came Friday. Another early departure. Another secretive phone. I called Mark that evening. Hey man, I need advice. Shoot. His voice was steady, like always. It's Emily. She's acting weird. Early mornings, late nights, phone glued to her hand. I feel like she's hiding something. Mark was quiet for a second. You think she's cheating? I froze. I don't know. I don't want to believe it, but I can't ignore it either. Trust your gut. You know her better than anyone. Watch, but don't confront yet. Gather facts first. I hung up and felt the weight of every suspicious moment pressing down. Saturday evening, Emily came home, perfume stronger than usual. You're home early, I said cautiously. Yeah, finished work faster today. She smiled, like nothing mattered. I sat across from her. Emily, can we talk? Sure. About what? I've noticed you've been distant. She laughed softly, a little forced. Distant? I've been busy, stressed, you know? I clenched my fists under the table. It's more than that. You're avoiding me. You're hiding something. She leaned back, folding her arms. Hiding? No, I'm just tired. I have my own life too, you know. I'm part of your life, I said, voice breaking. I thought we were building a future together. But lately, I feel like I'm losing you. Emily's gaze flicked to her phone, then back at me. I told you it's nothing. Stop worrying so much. I wanted to believe her. I really did, but her dismissiveness cut deeper than any truth she could have shared. Sunday, I decided to follow her. Not in a creepy way, just subtle. I parked near her office, watched her car pull in, and noticed another car parked beside hers, Ryan's. My stomach dropped. Later, over coffee, I confronted her carefully. Emily, who's Ryan? I saw his car outside your office. Oh, him? Just a colleague. Don't make it weird. She smiled, but her eyes darted away. It doesn't feel right. You've been secretive all week, and now this. I'm worried. I said it's nothing. Can we drop it? She sipped her latte, calm, almost too calm. I stared at her, torn between demanding the truth and holding my dignity. Emily, please. I need honesty. Her lips pressed together. I'm telling you, there's nothing to hide. You're imagining things. I wanted to shout, shake her, make her see the fear and hurt in me. But I didn't. I swallowed my anger. I nodded. Okay, if you say so. Monday morning, Mark called. Any progress? I hesitated. I saw Ryan. I don't know what to think. Emily denies everything, but I can't shake it. Trust me, man. You're not crazy. You know when something's wrong. Keep observing. Don't confront without proof. Proof, yeah. I need proof. I sighed, rubbing my temples. It's killing me, Mark. Every small thing. Every lie. I feel like I'm losing my mind. You're not. Just stay calm. Focus on yourself, too. Don't let her actions destroy you before you know the truth. I hung up, staring at the ceiling, heart heavy. Every time Emily laughed at something on her phone, my stomach twisted. Every late night she spent at the office felt like a betrayal. By Wednesday, I felt trapped inside my own home. Emily's smiles were mechanical, her excuses rehearsed. I stayed late again, she said, tossing her bag aside. Did you really? I asked. Of course. You don't trust me, do you? I don't know what to believe anymore. My voice barely rose, but my chest ached with tension. She softened, leaning against the doorframe. I'm telling the truth. Stop overthinking everything. But I couldn't. I watched, I noted, I analyzed. My love for her battled with suspicion, my heart warred with my mind. And all the while, I felt myself unraveling, inch by inch, thinking about confrontation, thinking about leaving, thinking about what kind of man I was becoming. I realized then, sitting alone that night, that my life as I knew it was cracking, just like the mirror in our bedroom. Every reflection of happiness was distorted now. And I didn't know if I could ever put the pieces back together. I was scrolling through Emily's phone, something I swore I'd never do when I saw it. The messages. Ryan. Her name lighting up beside his, casual, familiar, intimate. My hands shook as I opened the chat. You were amazing tonight. Can't wait to see you again. One of his texts read. I froze, stomach dropping. This isn't real, it can't be real. Then a photo appeared. Emily smiling, leaning close to him. My chest tightened, my vision blurred. Every memory, every laugh, every promise, replayed in my mind, but now twisted. I dropped the phone. God, no, no, no. My voice was barely a whisper, but it echoed through the apartment. She walked in just then, humming, carrying groceries. Hey, what's wrong? I picked up the phone, shaking. Explain this. Emily blinked, then looked away. What is it? These messages. This photo. Who is Ryan? My voice rose, unsteady but sharp. Her lips pressed together. You saw that? I saw it. Don't pretend. Who is he? She sighed, leaning against the counter. He's just someone I met. It doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything? I laughed, though it was bitter. He says you can't wait to see him again. There's a photo of you two, smiling like I don't even exist. Emily shrugged. You're overreacting.
I didn't mean for you to see that.
Overreacting. My hands were shaking so much I could barely hold the phone. Emily, how long? How long what? She tilted her head, calm, almost mocking. How long have you been seeing him? How long have you been lying to me? Her eyes flickered with something I couldn't place. Guilt? Regret?
No.
More like annoyance. I told you, it's not what you think. Not what I think. I felt a scream building in my chest. Not what I think. You've been cheating on me. You've been lying every day for weeks. And now you act like I'm crazy. She folded her arms. You're being dramatic. I didn't plan for it to happen. I didn't think you'd find out so soon. Not think I'd find out? My voice cracked. Emily, I trusted you. I loved you. And all this time you were with him. I'm sorry, okay? Her tone was flat, unemotional. I didn't mean to hurt you. Sorry? My chest ached so much I could barely breathe. Sorry doesn't cut it. You destroyed everything. Do you even understand what you've done? She shrugged again, like it was just another inconvenient truth. I do. I don't care how you feel right now. I wasn't happy and I needed something else. I felt bile rise. Needed something else? After everything we planned, everything we shared, you just needed something else. Yeah, she said simply. I did. I'm not proud, but that's the truth. I couldn't speak. My throat was tight, my hands shaking. I remembered our first date, our first kiss, our first apartment. All of it felt like a lie now. I can't believe this, I whispered, voice breaking. You were planning a future with me while lying to my face? Emily looked at me evenly. I didn't lie about loving you. I just loved differently than you thought. You're too intense, too clingy. I wanted freedom. My hands curled into fists. Freedom? Is that what this is? Is that why you broke us apart behind my back? I didn't mean for it to hurt you, she said almost calmly. It's complicated. You wouldn't understand. Oh, I understand perfectly. My voice was low, trembling with rage and heartbreak. You wanted excitement, someone who would make you feel alive while you kept me in your pocket. That's who Ryan is. Her lips twitched, but she said nothing. I took a step closer, shaking. You think you can just erase me, pretend none of this matters? You think I'll stay here, broken, while you play happy with him? Emily met my eyes for the first time with something sharp, cold. I don't care what you do. This is my life too. Don't act like you own me. Her words hit me like ice water. Rage, sorrow, disbelief, all collided inside me. I wanted to scream, to punch the wall, to make her feel even a fraction of what I felt. But instead, I swallowed. Mark was right, I muttered under my breath, voice shaking. I knew something was off. I just didn't want to believe it. Emily looked at me, smirking slightly. You still don't know what you want to do you? I'll figure it out, I said, voice quiet but determined. But know this isn't over. Not for you. Not for me. She tilted her head, indifferent, almost bored. Sure, whatever you say. I turned and left the room, my chest tight, my mind racing. My perfect world had shattered in one click, one photo, one message. And somewhere deep inside, beneath the heartbreak, I felt it. A spark of something cold, sharp, and consuming. Revenge. I woke up to an empty apartment, the silence louder than any argument could ever be. My phone buzzed. Hey, you okay? It was Sarah. I stared at her name for a long moment before answering. Not really. My voice was hoarse. I figured as much. Do you want to talk? I ran a hand through my hair. I don't know if talking helps. It does. Trust me. You're not alone in this, you know. I laughed bitterly. Alone doesn't even start to cover it. Then let's start there. Alone. You're hurting, I get it. You trusted her. I felt the anger bubbling again. Trusted her, loved her, everything I did for her wasted. Sarah didn't respond immediately. I've seen you care for people more than they deserve. But maybe this time it's different. Maybe it's not just them. It's you realizing your own worth. I looked around the apartment, seeing Emily's half-packed things, the reminders of her presence. My worth? She made me feel like a fool. Every smile, every promise a lie. Sarah's voice softened. It wasn't your fault. People like her, they're selfish. They think the world revolves around them. I can't believe she did this. Right under my nose. I replay every conversation, every laugh. Did I miss the signs? Was I blind? You weren't blind. You were loving. That's different. You saw her for what you wanted her to be, not what she was. I groaned, pressing my face into my hands. It hurts so much. I can't sleep. I can't eat. Every time I think I'm okay, I see her face, her smile, and it's like a knife twisting in my chest. Then stop thinking about her. Focus on you. Rebuild. Don't let her control your thoughts any longer. I shook my head. It's not that simple. I want to scream at her, demand answers, make her feel what I feel, but I can't. Or maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just leave quietly, erase her from my life. Sarah paused. Maybe you should do both. Not quietly entirely. Not without thought. But don't let her actions destroy you. You have choices. You can rise or fall. Her words echoed. I imagined confronting Emily again, not with tears or pleading, but calm, measured, with a fire that came from betrayal and heartbreak. I don't know if I can forgive her, I admitted. And leaving quietly feels like giving up on myself. But revenge, I hate the thought of it. It scares me. Revenge isn't about hurting her. It's about taking back your power. Don't confuse that with anger. Anger fades. Power lasts. I exhaled, sitting on the couch, feeling the weight of every emotion pressing down. I've been so loyal, Sarah. Always. And she betrayed me like it was nothing. How do I let go without breaking myself? By remembering who you are. By not letting her define you. You're more than her betrayal. You're more than this pain. And if you ever need proof, look at yourself, still standing, still breathing, still talking to the people who care about you. I stared at the wall, the apartment suddenly feeling suffocating. I can't stop thinking about her. Her lies, her betrayal, every single thing she did. That's natural, Sarah said gently. But you have a choice. You can let it eat you alive, or you can let it fuel you. Every time you remember the pain, let it remind you that you deserve better, starting with yourself. I clenched my fists, feeling something shift inside me. The anger, the hurt, the heartbreak, they were still there, but now there was also determination. A fire. So, you think I can get past this? I asked, voice trembling but firmer than before. You can. And you will. One step at a time. But first, decide what kind of man you want to be after this. Not the man she betrayed, not the man she left in pieces, but the man you choose to be. I let the silence stretch for a moment, then whispered, I want to be stronger. Not just for me, but for everyone who believed in me, everyone I loved and who loved me back. Then start now. Reclaim your life, one choice at a time. I nodded, finally feeling some clarity. I'm done letting her control me. Done letting her betrayal define me. I'll take my life back, every piece of it. Sarah smiled through the phone. Good. That's all I wanted to hear. You're stronger than you think. I hung up, feeling the apartment grow less suffocating, even with Emily's ghost still lingering. I stood by the window, looking out at the city lights. My life was in ruins, yes, but ruins could be rebuilt. And I knew, deep down, that I was ready. Ready to rise. Ready to reclaim what was mine. Ready to be the man she could never break. I woke up early, sunlight spilling over the desk where I had stayed up most of the night. My phone buzzed. Hey, can we talk? Emily's name flashed across the screen. I stared at it, fingers frozen. I typed back simply, not now. Minutes later, she called. I let it ring. My chest was tight, but something inside me had shifted. I wasn't the same man who had crumpled at her betrayal. Later, Daniel called. How are you holding up? I'm okay, I guess. I ran a hand through my hair. I'm trying. You're stronger than you realize, he said. Don't waste energy on someone who doesn't value you. Focus on rebuilding. I know, I muttered, though inside I felt the weight of every lonely day. It's hard to stop thinking about her. Daniel chuckled softly. Of course it is. But think of it this way. Every minute you focus on her is a minute you're not building yourself. Shift your energy. Channel your anger, your heartbreak into something productive. I nodded, even though he couldn't see me. Productive, right? I can do that. I spent the morning going through work emails, clearing clutter, organizing my life. Every small accomplishment felt like a victory. My phone buzzed again, Emily. Another message. Please, I just want to explain. I stared at it for a moment, then deleted it. I didn't want explanation. I wanted control. Around noon, I called Daniel back. I'm trying to focus on work, but I keep thinking about Ryan. He's probably controlling her, right? Maybe. But remember, you're not in their story anymore. Your story is yours. You can watch from a distance, but you don't have to intervene emotionally. I frowned. But what if he's using her like she used me? What if he ruins her the way she tried to ruin me? Then that's her problem, not yours. Your goal is self-growth. Revenge isn't about destruction. It's about reclaiming your life. I exhaled, feeling the tension in my chest loosen slightly. Reclaiming my life. I like that. By evening, I had drafted a project proposal I'd been putting off for months. Sarah called. You sound different, she said. Stronger. I feel stronger, I admitted. I'm done letting her influence my life. Small victories, you know?
Exactly.
That's how it starts. One step at a time. Later, I went for a walk, thinking about everything that had happened. Flashbacks of Emily laughing with Ryan, of her lies, of her cold smiles. They stung. But they also fueled me. Every memory reminded me why I couldn't go back to that weak, broken version of myself. At home, I decided to take control in subtle ways. I changed passwords, updated security, and made sure no one could manipulate me again. Each step was deliberate, each act a reclaiming of power. Emily called again. I didn't answer. Her messages piled up. Please let me explain. I made a mistake. I ignored them. Every ignored message felt like another piece of my life reclaimed. I sat at the desk, reviewing my work. Daniel's words echoed. Channel your heartbreak into productivity. I smiled faintly. He was right. My focus, my ambition, my mind, they were weapons now. And I would use them to build myself stronger than ever. A notification popped up, an article about Ryan's company facing trouble. I smirked. Karma, subtle but inevitable. was starting to appear. I didn't gloat, but I felt satisfaction in knowing life had a way of balancing itself. Later, I met Daniel in person. "You look lighter," he said. "I feel lighter," I admitted. "I'm starting to see the pieces of my life that I can control. Work, friends, my choices, they're mine again." "Good. That's the point. Don't rush it, though. Rebuilding takes time. Every step counts." I nodded. "I've started ignoring Emily's attempts to reach me. That helps more than I expected. It's like a shield. Every time I don't respond, I reinforce my strength." Daniel smiled.
Exactly.
"You're building boundaries, which are stronger than any sword. Keep reinforcing them." Walking home, I felt a quiet confidence. I wasn't fully healed yet, but I was on my way. Every task completed, every decision made for myself, every message ignored, it all mattered. I realized that revenge didn't have to be cruel or obvious. My success, my strength, my refusal to let her hurt me again, that was the revenge I truly needed. At the apartment, I looked at the wall where a photo of Emily had once hung. I removed it and set it aside. My life was no longer defined by her. For the first time in months, I felt in control. I wasn't just surviving. I was rising. And I knew, deep down, that nothing, no betrayal, no lies, could stop me now. I was reclaiming my life, one deliberate step at a time. I heard about Emily before I even saw her again. A mutual friend, casual over lunch, mentioned she'd been struggling at work. "She's having a hard time. Projects delayed, meetings missed," my friend said. I sipped my coffee slowly. "Really? That sounds like karma." My friend frowned. "Don't sound too pleased. It's rough. She's really stressed." I nodded, letting the words settle. Part of me wanted to feel bad, but another part, the part still raw from betrayal, felt satisfaction. Not cruel, just right. A few days later, I saw her at a cafe. She was sitting alone, scrolling through her phone. Her posture was slouched, the confident energy I remembered from months ago replaced by something hesitant. "Emily," I said cautiously. She looked up, surprised. "Oh, hi." I pulled up a chair. "Mind if I sit?" She shook her head. "No, I guess not." The silence stretched. I wanted to confront her, to yell, but instead I watched. Quietly.
Carefully.
I wanted to see you," she said, voice soft. "I know things ended badly, but maybe we can talk." I leaned back, studying her. "Talk about what? Your lies? Your betrayal?" She winced. I made mistakes. I know that. But things have been hard. I need support." "Support?" I echoed, incredulous. "You hurt me. You cheated. You lied. And now you want support?" I don't know," she admitted, almost whispering. "Everything's falling apart." I didn't say anything. I wanted to, but silence was my weapon now. Let her see that I didn't bend for her anymore. A woman approached her table. "Lisa," I later learned. "Emily, are you okay? You seemed upset." Emily forced a smile. "I'm fine. Just thinking." Lisa leaned close. "You shouldn't be alone. Come with us later. We'll go out. Maybe clear your head." Emily hesitated, glancing at me. I don't know if I can." "Why are you still here then?" I asked quietly, my voice calm but firm. Emily's eyes flicked to mine. I needed closure. I needed to see if things could be different." I shook my head slowly. "Closure? That's not my job. You made your choices. You lived your lies. Closure comes from you, not me." Her hands trembled slightly. I thought maybe you'd forgive me." I laughed softly, almost bitter. "Forgive you? Emily, I've moved past that version of myself. The man who trusted you blindly is gone. He's not coming back." She looked down, shame and frustration mixing on her face. I never imagined this would happen." "Neither did I said quietly. "But it did. You made it happen. And now you're facing the consequences." Emily's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, then back at me. Lisa's waiting.
I
I should go. I nodded. Good idea. Maybe some people can help you now. She hesitated. You're not angry? I shook my head. I'm done with anger. I've turned it into focus. My life is mine again. You'll have to figure out yours without dragging me back in. She looked at me for a long moment. Then slowly she stood.
I
hope you're happy. I really do. I didn't respond. I let her leave, watched her disappear into the crowd. Alone, I felt a strange mix of relief and lingering pain. Relief that I no longer cared enough to argue. Pain from the memory of what we had shared and lost. Betrayal changes people, both the one who's hurt and the one who hurts. I thought about Ryan. His control over her seemed less solid than she wanted it to be. Rumors of tension, professional failures, karma, subtle but clear. I didn't celebrate, but I acknowledged the pattern. Life had a way of balancing itself, and I was no longer a pawn. I called Daniel that night. I saw her today. She tried to manipulate me, but I didn't give in. Good, Daniel said. That's progress. Power isn't just about strength, it's about restraint. You didn't let her pull you back into her world. I know, I said. But it still stings a little. Seeing her like that, helpless, but proud. It's complicated. That's normal. You're human. Don't let it shake your progress. Observe, learn, grow. That's all you need to do. I hung up and sat quietly, thinking. Each encounter, each glimpse of her unraveling life, reminded me of my own growth. Every moment I resisted being drawn back into her drama, every small victory in my work and personal life, reinforced the power I had regained. I realized then that revenge didn't need to be loud or obvious. It could be silent, subtle, inevitable. My life, rebuilt and stronger, was the statement. My peace was the payback. And watching her struggle, powerless to manipulate me anymore, felt enough. I leaned back, letting the quiet wash over me. Karma's whisper had arrived. I was listening. I saw her on the street before she saw me. Emily, walking quickly, face tight with worry, her phone glued to her ear. The woman I once loved seemed smaller somehow, shrunk by her own mistakes. Emily, I said, stepping into her path. She looked up, startled. Oh, hi. Her voice was faltering. Mind if we talk? I asked, calm, measured. She hesitated. I guess. I have a few minutes. We walked to a nearby bench. The air was thick, but I felt steady. No heartbreak, no anger boiling over, just focus. Emily, I started. This is the last time we do this. I need closure, and I need you to understand something. Everything you did, every lie, every betrayal, it's over. I'm done being hurt. Her eyes flicked away. I know. I wanted to apologize again. Stop. I held up a hand. This isn't about apologies. It's about you finally facing the consequences of your actions. Look around. Your friends, your job, even Ryan, everything is crumbling. She swallowed hard. I didn't mean for things to go like this. No, you didn't. But you didn't think either, did you? You acted for yourself, and everyone else paid the price. Emily flinched, the first hint of remorse showing. I was scared. I didn't know how to fix anything. You didn't fix anything. You made it worse. I kept my voice calm. And now you're alone. Ryan is gone, your colleagues don't trust you, and your reputation. Well, you've burned most of it yourself. I didn't realize it would hurt you this much. She looked at me, voice small, pleading. I shook my head slowly. It's not about hurting me anymore. That part is done. I've reclaimed my life. I've grown, I've learned, and I've moved on. She looked down, ashamed. Do you hate me? I paused. Hate isn't useful. I won't waste energy on it. I feel pity, mostly. For you, for what you've lost, and for the choices you made. But I won't let that pity pull me back in. Emily's lips quivered. I thought you'd, I don't know, forgive me, maybe? I let out a short, quiet laugh. Forgiveness isn't the same as going back. I forgive myself for trusting you blindly, and I forgive the person I used to be. But I won't step back into your life. That's the difference. Her eyes filled with tears. I never realized how much I hurt you. Not just with Ryan, but everything. I thought I could have it all. You thought you could have it all, and still walk away unscathed, I said. Life doesn't work that way. You wanted freedom without consequences, and now here we are. She looked at me, desperation in her eyes. Can't we try again? Maybe start over? I shook my head firmly.
No.
The man you knew is gone. The man who trusted you blindly is gone. I'm not the same, and I won't let myself become that man again. My life, my happiness, my dignity, those are mine now. She blinked, and for the first time, I saw raw, unfiltered regret. I don't deserve you. You're right about that, I said softly. But that's not my problem anymore. You'll have to live with your choices. I'll live with mine.
Her phone buzzed again.
She glanced at it, then back at me. Lisa, she wants to meet. I should go. Good, I said. Take whatever support you can find. But don't expect me to be part of it. She stood, shoulders slumped. I just wanted you to know I'm sorry. Truly. I know, I said. And that's enough for me.
Now go.
Fix your life if you can. I'm done speaking about us. We walked away from each other silently. I felt no anger, no vengeance in my chest, just a quiet, resolute satisfaction. The emotional power had shifted. I controlled my world. She controlled hers, and she was struggling under the weight of her choices.
Later, I thought about Ryan.
He had faded from her life, unable to sustain the control she once let him have. Emily's social circle had shrunk. Professional missteps had piled up. Watching all this unfold was strange, a mix of relief, melancholy, and confirmation that karma has its own rhythm. I reflected on forgiveness. Not for Emily, but for myself. Forgiving my past mistakes, forgiving my own naivety, and acknowledging my growth. Justice wasn't always dramatic or public. Sometimes it was quiet, subtle, inevitable. I smiled faintly, leaning against the wall of my apartment later that night. I was stronger, wiser, more grounded. The betrayal had broken me, yes, but it had also rebuilt me, sharper, more focused, more resilient. And the reckoning wasn't over because of hate or vengeance. It was over because I had taken back control. I had the final word without saying it, the final power without lifting a hand, and the ultimate satisfaction without indulging cruelty. I had won, not through revenge, but through transformation. And for the first time in months, I felt truly free. I stood outside our old apartment building, the place that had once held so many memories, both beautiful and devastating. The keys felt heavy in my hand, but I didn't hesitate. I dropped them into the donation box by the door. One last connection gone. Sarah called. Are you really doing that? I have to, I said. It's not just a place. It's everything she left behind. I can't carry it anymore. Good for you. It's a step forward. I smiled faintly. Yeah, forward. That's the goal now. Later, I met Daniel for lunch. You're different, he said, studying me carefully. There's confidence in the way you hold yourself. I feel different, I admitted. It's like the past, it doesn't weigh on me the way it used to. I've rebuilt myself, piece by piece. That's what I've been telling you. Strength comes from growth, not revenge. You've proven it. I nodded, thinking about the months behind me. The heartbreak, the anger, the quiet revenge I didn't need to orchestrate because life had a way of balancing itself. I used to think closure came from confrontation or words, but it comes from within. You sound at peace, Daniel said. That's new for you. I am at peace, I said. Not because I forgot or forgave her, but because I focused on me. I'm stronger, more focused, more grounded. That evening, I went for a walk through the park where Emily and I had spent so many weekends. Every bench, every tree, every corner held a memory. I stopped at the fountain and sat, watching the water ripple. Sarah called again. thinking about the past. Yeah, but differently now, I said. I'm not longing or hurting. I'm reflecting.
Good.
Reflection is healthy. Growth happens there. I smiled. I guess betrayal has its lessons, even if they're painful. A few children ran past, laughter ringing in the air. I remembered a simpler time, a time before heartbreak, and I realized I didn't need that past to define me anymore. My phone buzzed. Emily again. I didn't look. I deleted her message, without opening it. No curiosity, no anger, nothing. Just a quiet recognition that our chapter had ended. I met a new colleague, Rebecca, at work. She was sharp, witty, and genuinely kind. You've got a presence about you, she said. It's like you've been through a storm and came out stronger. I guess you could say that, I said, smiling. Sometimes storms teach you more than calm ever could. That's true, she said. And now? You're unstoppable. I laughed softly. I'm learning to be. That night, I organized my apartment. Photos, letters, mementos, everything that tied me to Emily, to the man I used to be, I boxed and donated. Each item released a small weight from my chest. Daniel called later. How's the apartment?
Clean, I said.
Empty of her, and surprisingly full of me. That's how it should be. You're finally in your own space, emotionally and physically. I reflected on the journey. The heartbreak, the betrayal, the quiet victories, the karma that subtly unfolded around Emily. I didn't celebrate her failures. I merely observed. Life had a way of teaching lessons without my interference. I met Mark for coffee the next day. You look content, he said. I am, I admitted. It's strange. For so long, I chased answers, revenge, closure. Now I realize I didn't need any of those things.
I needed me.
That's it. He smiled. That's growth. That's wisdom. I nodded, watching the morning light spill over the city. I've reclaimed my life. Career, friends, mental peace, even joy. The past doesn't haunt me anymore. It's a lesson, not a cage. Later, I returned to the park fountain. I closed my eyes, letting the sounds of life, the birds, children, laughter, wash over me. I pictured Emily, Ryan, all the chaos left behind. And I felt nothing but calm. I'm free, I whispered to myself. I realized forgiveness wasn't for them. It was for me. Forgiving my past self, forgiving the version of me who had been blindsided, forgiving the life I had to rebuild. I smiled as I walked away, the fountain shimmering behind me. Every step forward was deliberate, every breath mine, every choice my own. Life hadn't just given me closure, it had handed me rebirth. And I was ready to live it fully. I felt stronger, wiser, and finally unshakable. For the first time in a long time, I wasn't looking back. I was moving forward. And nothing, no betrayal, no heartbreak, no lingering regret, could touch me again.